Hey guys, it is us. It is Debbie Bettendorf, and we have Jen Howell here.
Hey.
Howl at the moon, howl at the new moon, howl at the new year. We are here to talk to you about New Year's resolutions, whether they're a good thing, whether they're a bad thing, whether you're indifferent. Do you make a New Year's resolution or do you not? Do you opt out of that? What do you do?
I've done different things every year. It seems like it just kind of depends on the circumstances. What I feel like sometimes it's like I just need to continue doing what I was already doing and just expand on that.
Nice.
Or make new ones or things that you need to stop doing for the new year.
Yeah, that's
like
true. It doesn't
things you want to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And also things you want to add in, because it's hard to add in all the things you want to do on top of what you're already doing.
That's true. What did you do this year?
This year, I set an intention, a resolutions last year for comedy. So I said I was going to do stand-up comedy.
And you did.
And I did.
And you still are doing it.
I'm still doing it. Very green, very new, but, and I want to add to that. So I'm setting a resolution, a goal for the year that I'm going to do at least 3 either open mics or shows per month.
Wow, that's a lot.
And if I don't have a specific show that I'm doing, that I'm going to go and support another comedy show that is
I'm just going to go stand on the street and talk to people and make them laugh. If I don't get a stand-up comedy gig, I'm going to go on the street. That'd be so funny. If you were out there with like a mic and just stop people, you see people do that. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I just want to ask you a question.
I could do that.
And then it would make people laugh. That would be so fun. We need a lot more laughter in this world, right? I know what you were saying before we even started this was it's a new year. And while you are like kind of excited that 2024 is in the past now,
right?
We can also still be grateful for all the goodness that we really did receive in 2024.
Absolutely. And the things that have brought us to this point.
Right. That's so true. And I can honestly say 2024 for me was a new adventure. And a lot of it wasn't that great, but then but then I can also say I've learned so much. I've grown so much. I've once again thought I had myself figured out. And now I'm saying, no, I there was a lot uncovered that I've uncovered. So, but we can be grateful for what we have received and the lessons we've learned. And as we move into this new year, we don't have to put a ton of pressure on ourselves. Like when someone asks you, hey, do you have a goal? Do you have a New Year's resolution? And then like if you don't, that's all right. You don't have to feel like, oh, I'm being left behind, because it doesn't matter if it's January 1st or February 15th. You can say, oh, I'm going to start doing this.
I'm going to do something new this year. Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. So no pressure there if you have one or you don't. But I want to read some information about what a New Year's resolution actually is. What is the actual definition? And it says, a New Year's resolution is a promise to do something differently in the new year. It can be a personal or professional goal that someone aims to achieve in the year ahead. And some examples of New Year's resolutions include eating more healthily, giving up smoking, exercising regular. Resolution can be a great opportunity to model goal setting with children. So I have adult children, really, but Lynn can put this picture up. We were just in Arizona. We were in Scottsdale. We were in Sedona. And each year we discuss
such a great idea.
Year we just kind of discuss what the year taught us in the past and what we would like to change or do differently or add as a goal for the new year. So we all sat down, and of course I packed pretty paper because it's all about presentation and it makes me feel good. Okay. So we did this when we were in Sedona right there. And we just wrote down some of our wishes, our goals, our, aspirations and things like that. And we did have a good discussion of 2024 as well. So, it doesn't have to be something. And the other thing is, I want to read talk to me a minute. Let me figure out what what I'm going to talk about next, because I want to give you some information. Like I did some research.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say, we were talking about 2024 and like what happened, and that everyone could come off with their list of all the things that were unfair, the things that were hard that you had to work through, some people were facing sickness and death and losing loved ones and, financial issues and just the list goes on and on and on.
Sure.
But if perspectively, you can look back and be like, oh, 2024 was terrible. Like it just treated me so badly. But if you really become a pirate of your year, and you kind of look at your life and you look at the like you're panning for gold, you know what I mean? You got to dig down in the dirt, deep, the muck, and all the gross, and you got to look for the nuggets. You got to look for the good stuff. And there's a map there. We finished the map. The map is like all done now. We're all done, but we can look back and look at those things that were very, very buried in and within that struggle,
mining for the diamonds,
that troubles, absolutely, and just finding all the goodness, the things that we can carry over and learn from in 2025.
That's such a good, that is really good advice. And, sometimes we've heard things before. Good advice can be stated in different dialects and from different mouths and all of that. But that resonates with me when you said that. It really does. So thank you for the reminder, because it's needed sometimes. Sometimes we lose our way, and it's fun to get back with friends and people that you just meet, and they say something that kind of is like, oh yeah, and it helps you get back into that good perspective. But when I was talking about not feeling pressure to have a New Year's resolution, don't feel pressure, all of the things, like we're living our own lives. You don't have to you don't have to mirror someone else's or do something just because that's what everybody does. And I think that's why many times maybe you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it because society says to. Right. And then that's perhaps why you don't finish through and follow through with your goal. It's not
genuinely your goal.
It's not yours actually to have. But it also said in here, and this is not my words, these are like Googled information that I was like just thinking like, let me investigate this a little bit more about what this actually is. But I read where it said the pressure one feels after setting a New Year's resolution can create a lot of anxiety and stress in achieving the goal. Right. So, and it says, no matter what, this can affect the person's mental and physical health, leading to negative consequences.
Right. And feeling like a failure.
Yeah, feeling like, here's something else I said I'm going to do, and then I'm not doing that either. So, but what I really feel like in that, when I read that, I thought, gosh, that's so true. And there have been many times in my life where I've said I'm going to do something, and then maybe I didn't do it. And then it does make you feel a little guilty. So one of the things that I had been working on over the last probably good 5 years is if I say to myself and I say it out loud that I'm going to do something, I've made a promise with me. I want to be able to trust myself. I want to say, hey, you know what? If I'm saying this to me, I want to do it because I owe that to myself. So really don't say you're going to do something if you don't wholeheartedly want to for you. The first book that I had written, I was like, if I say I'm going to do this, I have to follow through with this. And I did. And that was a real great feeling of accomplishment because I can stay true to me. I can trust me. So I just wanted to say that there's no pressure on you. If it's something you genuinely want to do, let's do it. Let's go. I also looked up the most popular. Can you guess? Okay. By the way, this is recorded. It is January 1st. She and I are here. Hey, we want to get this in. Are you a football girl? Are you a football guy? We got some games coming tonight. We can't be on a podcast, okay? So Ohio State, go Bucks. Yep, let's Bucksing the Ducks. Let's see. Baby. Okay, so here are the most popular New Year's resolutions. Can you guess what they are? Save more money. 52% of people want to save more money.
I just want to make more.
Good. That's our resolution. Okay, so to eat healthier, 46%. To lose weight, 37%. To spend more time with family and or friends, 33%. That's overrated. No,
depends on the family.
That's right. That's overrated. Right. But that's why it's only 33%. Quit smoking, to reduce spending on living expenses, and to spend less time on social media. Those are all the most popular New Year's resolutions for 2025. Are any of these something you can get on board with?
I mean, I've definitely been there where I'm like, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to exercise, but I've always kind of been that person that's on that train anyway. And so really what it is just getting back to it and just getting, because the holidays come and you get so busy and the workouts go out the window and you start eating fudge and people were bringing stuff to your house on dinners and holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's Christmas. It's fine. You know, between Halloween and New Year's Eve, you know, you just
And I'll tell you what, that's absolutely so true. And it's the sugar that gets you.
I'm
serious.
It
like
is.
It's like an addiction. Like you think maybe just one little slither.
It's just self-care.
It's like fine. A little slither. And then you eat that one little slither and then you're like,
before you know it,
I gotta eat it
another one.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's okay. The first of the year's coming and I'm going to start over, you know, and we say that to ourselves. And the thing is really, I feel like if we can just compile that and just say, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do what I need on a daily basis. Give yourself
some love. Like, would you treat your dog, significant other, kids, you know, what do you want them to eat? What do you want them to do for themselves? I think so many times we care for so many other people and we want them to do well, but really it starts with us. And, you know, we got to take care of us and love us so that we can take care of other people.
Right.
And I guess, waiting for the new year isn't the time to do it. It's like any day that you think, hey, I'm not treating myself well, I'm going to get better at this, which I will share with you. I have never selected this word. So instead of New Year's resolutions, I try to use one word that encompasses everything that I'm trying to achieve. And so my word last year was intention. Okay. To do things with intention. Let's have the thought behind it, move forward with that. And then this year it's health. It's healthy. It's health. And, you know how sometimes we all know how to spell health, Health. Okay. But it has heal. And as I was writing it as my word, when we were all together as a family, I'm like, heal. That is so, so true. Through the different things that we learn about ourselves, we learn about others that we love, that maybe it's not as pleasing as we would like and things we may not want to accept.
Right.
Mental health, mental heal, physical heal, health. That's what I'm on a journey this year, because what has happened is I took on a lot all at once, a new venture and also more writings. And, you know, the podcast kind of had to take a back burner because I like to pour myself into my people. And Jen's been on here before. God love her. She's been on here before. But if you're on this podcast and you've written a book, I want to read your book. If you've, you know, anything that you do, I want to know. So I didn't have that time to invest into my guests. So this was on a back burner for a while. But what I found is I am so delved into this new venture that a lot of things went off the rails, including my health. And I have to get back on the rails, and balance is also another good word, but health and heal. And when I think of what that word means to me and what it encompasses, and I say health, heal, then that's when it'll hopefully I'll get back on the tracks.
Yeah.
But we can do that anytime. It doesn't have to be on January 1st. So if you're watching this podcast and you're like, oh God, it's March. I missed it on January 1st.
So don't wait till next year.
I guess I got a couple more months to think about it. No, you can do it today. Think about it. Like do some deep internal thought processes for you. And what is it that you need? Let's get real with ourselves. Like I would have never thought in a million years health would be, because I'm like, I'm active. I got this. I'm healthy. And now I'm like, I'm really not. Like there's some things going down I need to take care of. So health and heal. That's what it is.
That's awesome. I think my word for last year was reinvent. And it was because I kind of felt like I was stuck in that place where I felt like life and circumstances just kind of invented my life for me. I was just kind of like, what in the world's happened here? You know, and you take a step back and you're like, I'm going to reinvent this life. Like I'm going to do something different. I got to do something different. And so little by little, you do something different. You know what I mean? And you'd make those small strides, inch by inch. Anything's a cinch.
Can you give me one example of in your day when you made an intentional thought to say, no, I'm going to do just this tiny thing differently? Can you think of anything that is an example of like?
Probably some things, waking up early. And I got off track with that this year. Like I did a project a couple years ago called the Morning Project, where I was trying to break habits of like not getting up early and running and rushing and trying to be everywhere and being late and all that. And I was trying to conquer that in myself. And I got to get back to that, you know, and and drinking water in the morning.
Yeah.
The simplest thing, like drinking.
Simplest thing.
Yeah, drinking water in the morning, starting your day with water, not coffee, or choosing a better beginner food for the day. Like, I'm not going to wake up and I'm not going to eat a gluten-free Pop-Tart today. I'm going to eat some eggs.
Have an egg, have a handful of blueberries.
And just those simple little changes. I think we get really overwhelmed when we say, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to get in shape, and I'm going to do this. And everybody thinks that they're just going to, they buy these programs and then they hit it so hard. It's so much. It's
like burnout. It's like
so much. And then
burning,
they're over it by Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And the gyms will be packed, and that's awesome. And I pray that there's 100% retention, but I think it doesn't have to be, you don't have to become a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to become a bodybuilder. You don't got to run marathons.
You don't have to have a 6-pack.
You don't have to do those things in order to accomplish the goal that you've set. If you want to be healthier, you just have to commit to move more, drink more water, eat less processed food, get more rest.
Shop the perimeter.
Listen to your body. Yeah. Shop the perimeter, support local farms and people who are producing healthy stuff. It's just,
and you're right. It doesn't have to be. I really think that that I had read, the pressure that you feel after setting a New Year's resolution, for instance, like we're talking about food, and don't feel like I'm eating one shred of lettuce today. And I'm going to have a celery stick
for lunch.
Okay. So no, just do better than you did the day before and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to skip the chips today. Instead, I'm going to have some of this, or whatever.
Make a better choice. Absolutely.
So, but even with this saying the pressure, like if you're saying like one of the top ones, the absolute top number one is to save more money for 2025.
Then don't buy food.
Then there you go.
There you
get
go.
2 in 1.
Solved.
2 for you be skinny and you be really
and you have
rich.
Money.
So, but you know what I mean? So like if you want to save more money, that doesn't mean, okay, turn the thermostat down to 62.
Right.
No. Okay. What? Okay. So normally we go to Studio 11 style and buy like $3,000.
You're going to have to order it on Amazon.
So no, that's not local. But you could, you can buy less, wait for the sale. Okay. But I mean, honestly, like in moderation, everything in moderation and in balance. So if you know that you're trying to make a difference in your life, but you are like miserable, you're probably not doing it with balance.
Right.
You're probably like going to one extreme.
You know what's so sad is like when we think about saving money, we always think about what can we give up in order to save.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't always have to be that way. I don't think.
It
could be something like, hey,
buy less,
maybe
eat less,
learn how to grow something, and you can replace what you're growing with what you're buying. Let's say you're a tomato eater, a zucchini eater, whatever.
Avocados, those cost like a lot.
Yeah, grow avocados. But anything that you can do that would be like, I'm going to do this for myself instead of paying for it or whatever. Or I'm going to, do a bartering system with someone.
I would love to go back to those days. In some ways, I feel like if bartering is such a, my grandparents had stories of bartering themselves. My grandfather had a grocery store. But then, you have somebody over here that sells clothes, and grandma may want a new dress.
Yeah.
But you can get your groceries and grandma gets
trade for a dress. Right.
Yeah. Absolutely. All those things. But I do believe that moderation and balance is if you can just tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to not spend any money because that's not realistic. I'm not going to not eat because then you're going to stop up your metabolism, and then you're going to eat one French fry and you're going to gain it. So everything in moderation and in balance. I really do believe
I love
that.
Food too much to do that.
We can enjoy things, and I think things taste better too if you're not chowing down and overeating. Like when you do really take when you're eating your food. We had really good food when we were on vacation.
I bet
there were some really amazing foods that we had for dinner and lunches. But I would try to just let that taste in my mouth and savor it and say, I may not ever get this bread again from this show. I'm going to really savor it and taste it and appreciate it. And, slowing everything down to just
so
be
true.
intentional.
I'm a fast eater.
I am too. And I'm a fast drinker.
I think most mothers.
That gets me in trouble.
I think most mothers learn how to be fast eaters because you're like, I got to hurry up and get this
I gotta
before the baby wakes up.
I'm not going to get to eat again.
So you train yourself to scarf it down, and then you're like, did I even taste it?
Yeah.
Because
really
you're trying to hurry
it.
to get onto the next thing.
Someone told me, I think, you know what, Lynn, I don't know if it's one of our girls who sent us a video message, but let's see what some of our Find It friends have said about resolutions.
Hi, Debbie. So talking about New Year's resolutions, I don't bother making them. It's been a while, many years. Because I'm always one starting. Like, I'm always starting and always trying to improve. Like, I'll start in the afternoon, I'll start in December, I'll start in November, I'll start in August. And just keep trying to improve my process and make myself a better me in whatever way I need to. So I'm just a process of starting and restarting and improving on who I was yesterday, never mind who I was last year. So I just don't make the resolutions because I probably make about 100 a year. That's pretty much why. Happy New Year. And I hope all your resolutions and wishes come true.
That was Joanna. And she's a highly intelligent woman. She speaks so many languages.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can barely speak the one that I have.
I'm working on English. I'm working on English. Okay. But she is amazing. And so, Joanna, thank you for sharing that with us. And it's so true. And that's kind of going in theme with what we've been talking about too, is that you can start a resolution, a goal, a wish anytime. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. It can be in June. Okay.
Right. I mean, you could set a New Year's resolution saying, I'm going to be a goal setter for the whole year of 2025.
Oh, I like
I'm going to
that.
set a new goal for a quarterly or monthly, maybe, or I try to
daily every 6 hours.
Well, you could say, what's my day? My goal today is to take more steps than I took yesterday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or park further away, or get out in the sunshine, or, replace one meal with, I don't know, raw fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like it could be endless.
Yeah. I want to read this too, because I've got more information from the web. Okay.
Good old Google.
Good old Google. So should we even set goals is what this says. Reflection plays an essential role in setting and achieving resolutions and goals, asking ourselves the reason for setting the goal and focusing on the path rather than the goal is crucial. This can help to set realistic and specific goals that are easy to achieve. Setting short-term goals that are easy to achieve does not mean you need to accomplish anything. It means that you set an attainable goal, which will keep encouraging you to keep working toward your long-term goal. For you to reflect on what goals to set and whether or not you should set a goal, you should make a pros and cons list for yourself too. Below is a template. I don't have the template, but you can, but if you do write that down, which I showed, we do write ours down. You think you'll remember, you kind of forget, you go back to that list, you reflect, you say, am I still on track? I put mine on my kitchen table underneath a vase, and then it's always kind of there.
And then it's just a reminder of what you put on.
Yeah, and I can only see the perimeter of that pretty paper. That's one of the reasons I like pretty paper. And then you can shove it off and like reread it and regroup. And my mornings, like what you're saying, the morning project, when I really am in the place where I should be, when I say should, you shouldn't should on anybody,
Yeah.
Don't should on me. But you totally... When I know I'm doing what is good for me, that is waking up extra early and taking a few extra minutes just to regroup and give gratitude and drink a big old glass of water, chug that down before my coffee, and read what I've written to help me stay on track. That's when I know things are like, okay, it's going to be a great day, because I say it's going to be a great day. So if you write yours down, your resolution, your goal, your wish, and you just continue to have it present, it can keep you in that moment.
Well, it's just like climbing a mountain. Like, I've never climbed a mountain. I probably won't ever. You just did?
Many of them.
You just did it?
Yeah.
That's
many
amazing. I've never
We were in
climbed a mountain.
Sedona. We were in Scottsdale and Sedona.
That is amazing.
Climb.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And not saying I won't, but like
you might.
you think of like a
If you want to.
long journey, a long track of something. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the finish. And you're like, it's miles and miles. And it's so overwhelming to think about. But yeah, if you say, I'm going to get to that mile marker, or I'm going to get to that milestone, or I'm going to make it to that rock up ahead that I can see. And once you get there, you just expand your goal. You know what I mean? You just keep making those little short tracks until you get to the end, you know?
That is so funny you say that, because it's so weird the way my mind works, because I guess it's a little bit of determination, but a little bit of stubbornness also. Like,
Can be a good combination.
It can, and I can, but I like, as far as like having something, I'm going to do that. That's what it is. It's like, this is it. It's so in my face. This is what I'm going to do. And then as I get really tired, I'm like, no, I'm doing this. And so I do it. But you know what I just thought of when you were talking? It's really weird. So if life was that easy to say, this is exactly what I want to do and what I'm going to do. I see the mountain. Here we go. I'm doing it. Life is a little more difficult. Like for me, like the cardio, the exertion of energy, all of that, that's easier for me than the actual, like, mentally, like, I'm doing this new business. It should be doing this. I could do this. It's easier for me to climb that mountain than it is for me day to day in my life, having expectations, which also can be really bad. Goals are great, but if you expect something in a certain amount of time, I know that's not good, but I do it. Maybe I should leave Ding Dong Ditch that too for 2025. Like, expectations are kind of the devil.
They can be. I think you can beat yourself up with things and be disappointed. Yeah. And then maybe you lose momentum.
You lose momentum, and maybe even like get sidetracked with other things. Like for me, if I could, like, with my business, just climb that mountain. Right. I see the top. Here's where I'm going.
But you have all these little steps at a time. Yeah. These little steps. Like, I got to get to this point. It's like, oh, you know, you're going to start a business. Like, well, how do I do my social media? Well, how do I do my marketing? Well, how do I do my advertisement? Well, what do I do? And you got to learn all this stuff along the way. You don't realize what's in the backdrop of that.
Yeah. And then you still, the passion that I have for the meaning behind my business is so incredibly, like, and just ingrained into my my personality. And then all the other stuff, though, it's like, so I'm going up the mountain with my business. I'm trotting along. Yeah. And then all the other things make you take side steps. So instead of going this way, you're sidestepping, and you got to then remember, no, let's get back on track. And then when you realize there's things that maybe we're not good at everything, hire that out. Let's hire this out.
That's where the needs to make more money thing comes in.
Let's go, girl.
I'm like,
let's high five out.
Yeah. We need to make more money so we can pay people more money.
Yeah, let's pay people more money. More money. Okay, so here's another 2025. More money. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so appreciative, though. I'm doing really well. I mean, it's like in my first full year of this business, it has been successful. I can say that. I have really my goals I set for myself are really up there. Like, it's with the top of the mountain. And so you got to remember, Debbie, that these goals can happen with constant, you know, just every day is a new day. I'm taking that another new step toward the top of that success.
And you just keep picking away, you know, you just keep plucking away at it. Yeah. And little by little, you start seeing it in the cover, you know, you start seeing it come to fruition. It's like, but if you try to take that whole journey in one big yard and one big step, you'll fall. You'll fall flat on your face. You won't know what's going on because you put the cart before the horse. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. And that's where I'm like, oh, I got these big, high, lofty dreams. My husband calls it the good idea fairy.
The good idea fairy has arrived again. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I got this idea. And he was like, oh, great.
I can't wait to hear it.
He's like, the good idea fairy showed up. He's like, last time you said that, we started a coffee shop and went bankrupt. And I'm like, well, it's different this time. You know,
I'm like, better.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
This fairy is even bigger and larger and in charger. Okay.
But the good idea fairy can be a blessing if you know, you're like, you look at this big dream, you know, like I told someone the other day, they're like, what do you want to do? It was Ashley Henson. She was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I was like, I want to get paid to talk. I want to talk. I want to talk.
think
I
you
just want to
totally
get paid to
could.
converse and talk, whether that's on radio or that's an MC or that's a talk show or that's a podcast. I don't care what it is. It's like, I just want to get paid to build relationship, talk to people, dig into people's brains, find out what's going on, and be funny.
You'd be a good therapist.
And be funny. And
You'd be an
I don't
awesome
know.
therapist.
I think I would probably talk about myself the whole time.
But we can learn a lot. You know what? We can learn. So that's why I love to listen to people.
Yeah.
When even like just now, what happened? Remember, you
Yeah.
were saying certain things. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
me.
That's
me.
that's
what
how
I'm
I
doing.
am. It's like that bantering, that
Yeah,
back and
you
forth
can
is
learn so much
edifying.
about yourself when you
Mhm.
hear someone else, because I can see there's aspects of the things that you're saying and you
Yeah.
that I see in myself,
Mhm.
and it's refreshing.
Mhm.
But yet it's also like, okay, yeah, now I understand me more because I see things in you, right?
Yeah,
And we can do that. I
absolutely.
love so much to meet new people and to hear different perspectives,
Yeah.
because then you realize it's really not that different. We're really not all that different. We're very much more alike than we are different.
And I mean, and when it comes down to it, like honestly, that can be a great New Year's resolution. Just say, I want to invest in people.
Mhm.
You know, I want to invest in people, in relationships, in my community, my culture, in my my church body, my whatever, my job family, my career family. A lot of people have, you know, just all these people, because it's really the only thing. I mean, if you're a believer of the afterlife, and that people, they, you know, everything passes away, but we have the opportunity to have everlasting life. If you believe in that, then you know that really the only eternal thing that you can invest in is people, people, and
your own soul,
and making someone else's life and day a better life and day, just by your tiny contribution. One rule I make for myself, I made this last year and I'm going to continue doing it, is every time there's a speaker at church or any kind of conference I go to, if there's a book for sale, I'm buying a book.
Yeah, I always do.
I'm buying a book. Whether I read that book, I might not read that book for 10 years, but I'm buying a book.
And that's what I do with my guests on here. If they're an author, I always buy their book. I want to read it before they're on, so I understand what they're doing.
Absolutely.
But I want to read this too. Some tips for making New Year's resolutions. So here's some tips, which I'm all about the tips. Okay. The tips: being realistic, write it down, making a plan, being flexible. So don't say, well, I messed up, so I'm going to eat the whole
start
house
over.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. Using reminders, tracking your progress, and rewarding yourself. Do you know that only 36% of people make it past the first month of January with their resolutions, and only 9% keep them throughout the year?
So how can we help people keep those resolutions then past the end of January?
Yeah. So
really,
what like those tips are, you know, well, and two, don't like, okay, it's like watching a train wreck.
I'm gonna lose 100 pounds by 1st of February.
It's not happening. The train has crashed. No, it isn't. It's so what? You ate a full pizza. Okay. We all do it. Let's be real. I mean,
it has to be gluten free, but I can do it.
Especially if it's like Jerry's pizza. It's really thin. It's fine. It's fine.
I will gluten myself for Jerry's. I will gluten myself and be sick for a week.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, if you just fall off, just don't fall off the next day. And if you do, then say, I'm not going to put the third day in a row. It's fine.
Right.
We are human beings. We're flawed people. We're flawed.
Yes.
So just get back up on that horse and ride it right out. Okay.
Yeah.
Write it out through the next year. And then you can say, I said I was going to do this. I had some setbacks, but here I am in 2026.
Recruit
the next
help.
year.
Recruit accountability.
Yeah, okay.
You know, if you got a good friend, I'm setting some goals, but I need somebody to keep me accountable.
Oh my gosh, my friends are probably like, Debbie, damn. Are you gonna recruit help again? Oh my gosh, I think I've tapped out for 2024. Okay, they're like, let's take a break time. Everybody out of the pool for 2025.
It's like, and I mean, amen to those people who feel like I'm already awesome. I'm just going to continue being more of me into the new year. You know, I'm like, that must be great. Like, that must be like your life's already so good, you know?
Lord
and
knows.
I'm like, I need to be a little less me and a little more Jesus.
Yeah, let's bring a little more spirituality into our life. Yeah. As I have my champagne and say curse words. But God loves me. He made me this way. I have a great relationship with my God. He loves me.
Amen. He loves me just the way I am.
I know. He made us this way.
He loved me just the way I am. And it's like, and what somebody, one person's curse words is somebody else's adjective.
Or a comma.
Sentence enhancers. as SpongeBob would say.
Oh my gosh. When you use hey, it's just a little speed bump. It's a comma in my sentence when I add those expletives here.
And just want to get your attention.
Just thought you might want to know. We add a little, I don't know. My daughter at 2 years old stomped down the stairs saying, damn, 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 damn. I'm like, oh. My mom said, well, does that surprise you? You say you drop something. Oh, damn. Damn. So yeah, she learned that, we look at our kids and think, oh, however. And
oh my gosh. And it's always so
I created
funny.
that. Okay.
It's always so funny, and all that. But I mean, everybody's got to learn self-control. It's okay. Start young.
Okay. Maybe 2026 will be self-control will be my word.
Oh, self-control. Yeah, we won't tackle that one now.
Well, I think it's a little too early for that. I gotta work. We don't get too high and lofty. I gotta be healthy first before I do self-control. Okay. All right. So being realistic, that's right. Okay. So common resolutions include exercising more, losing weight, saving money. We already went through that. And people tend to go too hard too quickly instead of taking small steps. You just
inch
said
by
that.
inch by inch.
But
few
then,
things.
Yeah. Inch by inch.
10 minutes on a treadmill as opposed, don't go 2 hours and go do every machine at Planet Fitness. You will be sorry.
Yeah. And also you're going to be like, this sucks. I hate spending 2 hours of my day on this treadmill. Just 10 minutes or just walk around the block or bundle up and get outside. I am a firm and true believer. Outdoors, even when it's cold out, bundle up and just go outside and breathe. I know one of the pictures I posted on Facebook was me. I didn't know I was getting my picture taken by the dog strapped to me right here. I was outside and I had my hands up like this, thanking God, like, oh, thank you, God, for this beautiful day.
Yes.
Taking a deep inhaling breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. And the sun was shining and it was really chilly out, but it was just a beautiful. And I am telling you, getting grounded like that, putting your feet on the earth, being outside and taking a deep breath, it is everything. Like I love it.
And setting like those daily routines. Like, I mean, it's cold. I'm not a fan of cold weather.
I'm not either.
My feet freeze and, the circulation ain't circulating like it did 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But it's about like, getting outside and like in our area, we have so many beautiful places. We have like right here in Ross County, like the nature preserves, the mounds, the Hopewell,
what is that?
The Buzzard's Roost. Like go out into there's nothing better, I feel like, than getting your exercise in the woods, like an endurance style. I'm not a big cardio person. I'm not going to be jogging my knees and my ankles and my hips. And they're like, no, knees, but head, shoulders, knees, and toes. What hurts on you today? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Yes, it's like doc's like, what kind of pain do you have? Well, let me sing you a little song.
Hi, my name's Mary Menopause and I have joint pain. How you doing? You don't know if you're a man, but it happens. Okay. But I was going to say too, when my kids were younger and they'd have a day off of school, I would drive to Hocking Hills. It's 40 minutes.
Yes.
And we would hike
so many good
and
things.
Just love
that.
Oh,
love that.
So funny
that's great.
Lynn found that.
That's awesome.
Gosh. I was just like, look at Bam. She's just like, I don't know what mommy's doing.
But you're including gratitude in that. And I love that because you're outside, but you're also being like, grateful and grateful for like grounding. This.
Like, I know I am nothing. I mean, I am not, God created me. I'm nothing without him in my life. I know that.
And he created this world for us to live in.
And I mean, those beautiful sights that we were out and enjoying. And oh my gosh, it was totally. Yes. But I think it's time to show another Find It guest.
Okay. To answer your question, Debbie, I don't have New Year's resolutions. I do goals every year. I'm a little bit nerdy, and I read an article once about how if you call it a New Year's resolution, you're like 10 times more likely not to keep it. So over the last few years, I have done several goals, like 4 or 5, that I am very thoughtful about, that I want to achieve in the year. And then on New Year's Eve, so I'll do this tonight, I sit and pray over each of them individually and then all of them as a whole. And it's always really incredible once I write them down to see all that I've achieved in one year. And my goals from last year, I think I have achieved all of them but one, which is pretty crazy. So there's your answer.
That's awesome.
Love
Courtney.
her. So
Courtney,
sweet.
thank you so much. She has a lot going on in her little world, and
She's
doing a lot for others.
She's
too.
doing it, man.
Yeah,
she
really
is really
is.
inspirational. I love her so much.
Yeah,
She's
I
awesome.
can't wait to like come to an open mic and hear you too.
Oh, you got to get out there.
Where's it? Let's tell the
there.
people. When's the next one?
Well, I actually don't even have anything set for
January.
January
It's on the street.
Yet.
Then we're going to be out on the.
I'm just
going to
start
Street.
walking around with my little portable karaoke machine.
I
and just
have
being
one.
Like,
Do you have one?
No.
Oh, I have one. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do. We're gonna do this.
We can do it.
Like I'll set up a camera with like one of these.
Yeah.
And then you'll stop people on the street and ask them a question,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
like have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Let's figure this
I'll probably
out.
know about
Everyone.
like 3/4 of the people that pass
Okay,
me.
so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do so. Look for us.
I would love it.
If you see these
It'd
two
be so
on
great.
Paint Street, it's like
hey, you, come over here. We want to talk to you for a minute.
I got a question for you. Okay, what's it gonna be? Answer me this. Okay,
I got a riddle for you.
fill in the blank. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do what could be right down here in front of Total Media when Lori.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Lori's on the radio.
Like,
She'll be like, Lori will be like, dude,
get out of my way.
get out of the way. Oh, can you imagine the like
That would be
humor she would bring
hilarious.
to that
Yes,
too?
love her so much.
Oh my God, she's great.
So I'm looking forward to a lot more comedy coming up. January, I do have like a show. It's just kind of like a guest appearance. I'm just jumping in for a
Nice.
little filler spot
Where?
in Lancaster.
Lancaster.
January 18th, I believe it is.
Okay, do you guys say Lancaster? Like we do?
Lancaster
Or Lancaster.
Lancaster.
I just want y'all to know who say
Lancaster.
Lancaster that the people in Lancaster call it Lancaster,
Lancaster.
not Lancaster.
I call it Lancaster.
Me too. But we are from Ross County. Okay, so let's say Courtney, thank you for sharing that because that you have done so much.
I love
know.
what she said about not calling it because it's a
it's like
in
a
your head.
and when you say diet, let's stop using the word diet.
There's no
Say
such thing
healthy
anymore.
living. Healthy living is what we're going to go with. If you say diet, it immediately wants you to have a cheeseburger and French fries with extra sauce. Maximize it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Make it turkey burger, gluten-free bun or no bun at all, and
Oh, you
air
wrap
fry
that
your
in.
fries.
yeah, I've decided French fries are not that bad if you just have them once in a while. I love them.
I like them almost every day.
That's like-
I make them myself.
My
home, though.
pants that are busting at the seams
Make
tell me
my
I
own.
like them every day too. Oh, girl, do you
I
make
love
them in the
sweet
air
potato
fryer?
fries. Yes,
Oh,
sweet potato
wow.
fries are probably one of
Do
my
you have an air
favorite
fryer?
things. I do.
I had
love
an
it.
air fryer and I just
love
ended up
it.
not using it and gave it to my friend because I was like, I don't use it.
Of course.
Okay, so let's hear from someone else.
Hi, Debbie. This is Brenda Roush, and I don't choose a New Year's resolution. What I do is I choose a word, and it becomes an overarching theme that I learn lessons from. And anyway, the first year I chose the word grace, how God shows grace to us, how we show grace to other people. And I learned that the hardest person to show grace to sometimes was myself. Anyway, the next year I chose renewal, and I was trying to look at starting anew in looking for health options and in accomplishing some personal goals in my life. And this year I've been thinking a lot about it, and my word is wisdom or discernment.
So
awesome.
Brenda is a beautiful soul who I have really met
love
fully.
that.
I knew who she was prior
Yeah.
to Studio 11 style. And now, like, I consider her a good friend. Like,
That
she
is such a great.
yeah, she's an insightful
Perspective. I
and
love
very
that.
well spoken. Like, she'll send me messages sometimes too about just this business that I'm
Mhm.
doing and how it's affected her life in a positive
Yeah.
way. And like that's what it's about for me.
Mhm.
You know, it's a lot more than fashion for me. So thank you, Brenda, for
That's
sharing
awesome.
with
I
us. We
love that. I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
I also do a word, word each year. Now I used to do the
No,
resolution,
I haven't
the
chosen
actual
a word yet for
You
this year. I
haven't?
haven't. I'm
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
And it's okay. So see, no pressure, people. You
Yeah.
can think it through and really be intentional about the word that you choose,
Mhm.
that it's your word for you, that you understand the meaning, you know what it means for you.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to say, my resolution is a paragraph long. Like, what did I say I wanted to do? I don't know. I wanted to do something. That one word. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that encompasses everything
That's
that you
so
know.
good. I love what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a lot to think about.
It really
Mhm.
is. I mean, gosh, it
It
truly is. All right. I don't know. Do we have one more? Una más?
Let's see, New Year's resolutions. I don't really have any New Year's resolutions, but there is one thing that I really want to work on myself this year, and that is really to be in the present. I seem to always be moving 10 steps ahead, planning Christmas in July, planning birthdays that are in August. I plan them in like February. I'm always thinking what's next instead of really kind of being in the present. So that's really my only goal I would like to do. I wouldn't call it a resolution. I mean, I always try to pick something and some type of word that I kind of use to move forward into the new year. But that's really it. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, Laura.
I
So
love that.
the thing is,
These are all so good.
when you walk into Hobby Lobby in July and there's Christmas trees up, that could be helping our anxiety a little bit, Laura.
It's
So
a
yeah,
lot. I
it
don't
is a
even
lot.
like shopping. When I'm like,
when I
I'm
walk
so
in there
aggravated.
and I'm like, it's
what?
the 4th of July. There's trees. There's Christmas
Where's
trees up.
yeah, where's the red, white, and blue?
I see the red. No.
They're like, oh, that's old news. You know, it's like it's already
goodness.
it's all.
I
out
mean,
in the
it
wash
does
now.
feed that feeling of like, I'm behind. I gotta get this. I gotta get Christmas.
Well,
It's like goodness.
me and
so-
Laura don't have a whole lot in common because I don't plan Christmas until December.
Good.
I'm
That's
barely cleaning up Thanksgiving by
After that.
December. You know,
Well,
and
but
there's still
Laura-
Halloween candy in my house in December. So I'm like,
It's
we
like,
need a
oh,
Christmas
do you think
shop.
we could put this Halloween candy in the stocking?
Yeah, yeah. I
That's a
mean,
good
kids are like,
stocking
Mom, this
stuffer.
bit of honey is a real bit, you know,
It's
breaking
a little
my
bit
molars.
like, yeah, it's like a brick of honey.
I'm like,
Oh my
oh, I don't know how that got in there. That's old. Yeah,
It's-
throw
it's
that
just
away.
get rid of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know those Santa's elves. They are really slacking on the
it's-
job.
But it's so true though to be more present. Like I
Yeah.
love what she said. Like if you're always
Mhm.
constantly just working
Working for the next
the
thing.
next thing,
Yeah.
you miss the moment at
Laura,
that moment.
that's so true, Laura.
Like, I
We're so
love that.
happy you said that. Living in the moment, like it's difficult to bring yourself back
is.
into the like. Oh gosh, and even like when you're climbing the mountain. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like I see the top. I got to get there. Got to get there.
You like
and the-
disassociate in the
Mhm.
journey almost like from here to there
Yeah.
because you're trying to get to that goal. So it's like I do this in the wintertime because I'm not a fan of winter.
Yeah.
The cold weather affects me like physically and
well, and it's so
and all that. And
cloudy
so I'm like,
dark.
just
in
got to get
Ohio.
through it. Just got to get through it, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to like disassociate and like miss all this time.
Yeah,
You don't have a whole lot left. The older you get, the faster it goes.
it really does.
And so, but it's like a thing where you almost wish it away. People do this with their kids a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You're like, oh, I can't wait till we get through this school year. You know, and I did that a lot through my kids growing up. It's like, oh, just got to get through it. Just got to get through it. And you miss so much just going through those motions.
yeah,
And you kind of wish away your time and then just for a certain season of rest. And sometimes in the season of work and struggle, we still have to like make ourselves be present.
true that.
So that we don't go. And you've done this like later in the year, I'll go, man, was that February or when was that? Because
that
you
this year?
disassociate so much because of the hustle and bustle of life. You kind of like, you know, just separate yourself from it. And then you're like, man, the time went so fast. You don't even
And you
realize.
know what though? The time goes so fast. It does, regardless. But the time goes so fast because we don't live in the moment.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
So if you slow things, the only way I feel to slow things down a little bit, realistically, is to be in this moment right now. You and I are on the sofa.
Yeah.
You and I are having this.
We're not thinking
podcast.
about what's happening.
We're
in-
not. We
in
are
an
not.
hour.
And we're like with you guys. And it's like, okay, it's recorded
Right.
today on January 1st. So you're watching this, you know, probably 8 hours later, whatever. But right now, live in the moment. Think about when you start rushing through your day. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, if you need to get to work on time, you got to rush.
Well,
to get
yeah.
there,
I mean,
whatever.
that's.
But in your daily life, if we just kind of slow it down a little bit to say, I'm here right now. I'm loving this moment. And even in sad moments, you got to feel it, because if you shove that down to move on to the next thing, it's going to be the underlying factor of
Mhm.
health issues and and sadness later. It's going to pop like a can of biscuits.
Right. I mean, like when your kids go to graduate and you're like, I wish I would have spent more time with my babies when they was little. And then it's all too late.
It's
You know
like,
what I mean? At that
"See ya."
time. Yeah. Because the struggle of like raising kids and working a job and doing all the things
Uh-huh.
and the extracurriculars, all it's so much that you just kind of just like put your nose to the grindstone and just like, just got to do this, got to do this and
I've
get
heard,
through it.
what is the saying? It's like, long days, short years with your kids, because all of a sudden, they're in diapers, they're doing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get a night's sleep. And then all of a sudden they're graduating. And
Right.
then in my
Someone
case,
told me
they're
one
done
day,
with
they said you
college.
have 18 summers.
Yeah.
18 summers.
Yeah.
With your children
Mm-hmm.
before they're considered an adult. Now, if you're like me, they hang out for a little while. So you might have 21 summers,
You might
have them in the house
Yeah,
with you,
sure.
or whatever. But, and it really puts it in perspective.
It
You think
does.
that's not very many
That isn't.
summers. That's not very long, and so I think it's,
and even
just
like for
being
those
present.
who are
Yeah.
listening who don't have children,
yeah.
there you yourself and the people you love, and sometimes
Yeah.
I'm trying to be funny here, but sometimes you love others more than your children. No, I'm just teasing. I don't mean that. Forgive me, Lord, for I've sinned.
You
But
love your children, but sometimes other people are more fun than
That
they are.
could be, but it's you embrace that, and just like Laura said, be
Yeah.
in that moment, appreciate those friendships and those loves of your lives
Mhm.
who enrich your soul and feed you so much love and energy.
Right.
Those people.
Well, and spending less time on social media, like what that was talking about, I think can contribute to
Yeah.
like spending that
And
time
and also
being more
let's
present.
bring this up, social media again. We all know, right, that we're not all being Debbie Downers, like this is what happened bad with me today. You're putting the highlights moments, those highlight moments that you love, that you want to look back on and say, oh, this was so great and this was great. I mean, was my vacation recently everything roses the whole time? No, it wasn't. But we had highlights of moments that were beautiful that we'll take through our lives and have those memories. Social media is just a blip of someone's day or month or whatever that it was good for them. I mean, gosh, if we
Right.
showed everything that was going down on social media, you wouldn't want to look at it because it'd be like depression.
There's
session.
some days that are so ridiculous. I'm like, is there a camera somewhere?
Yeah, am I being
Is
pumped?
Ashton Kutcher here? Is he gonna like? This is a joke, right? This
I mean,
is really
come
this is
on,
funny.
this cannot be happening
I'm
right
like,
now.
this isn't even real, is it?
I mean, maybe I should. Maybe for like 1 month, I should just be the
Like-
Debbie Downer and just go in there and go, well,
I'll tell you
today,
everything.
maybe
I do that.
Maybe then people would be like, oh shit, she
Thank
has
you,
not
Jesus,
got it
that I
figured
wasn't
out.
Born Debbie.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. Oh God, I thought she knew what she was doing in life. She is really screwed up.
Write down, find new inspiration.
Find you're fabulous, but not with Debbie because she's still looking for
She's
it.
a mess.
She is a total mess. Okay, that's what we're saying. So you look at my social media, you see something good, you like it because that was my moment. Okay,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of other shitty ones.
And
that I
then
didn't
when
show
you look back on those good moments, like that's kind of like how you can be a pirate. Look on your Facebook, look at the memories, look at all the good things.
I
the
mean, yeah,
highlights of
I don't
the
want
year.
to put bad crap on there and then look back and go, oh, yeah, that was a really bad time in my life. I want to just, hey, this good happened. I'm going to put that out there so I can look back at it and remind myself, okay, this is good stuff.
Yeah, it's very good stuff, and you can find the nuggets. You can find
Yeah.
those diamonds in your year
Diamonds in
when
the
you look
rough,
back through
baby.
there.
That's what it is.
Yep.
So when you see people, and also let's just say these influencers, I'm like, maybe I could be an influencer. Oh my, that time that they put into doing that.
I don't think I can be that pretend.
I don't think I
don't
can
think
be
I
that
could do it.
pretend. I mean, that's why. And look, now we're gonna wallpaper. And I'm like, that would make
I'm like,
me angry.
I have videos. I have literal VHS videos of me and my sister wallpapering my mom's house, and it wasn't glamorous and it
No.
wasn't influential at all. We were
No, Bob
cussing-
Vila would not pick you up. He'd
cussing,
be like,
ranting, raving, like
Yeah.
literally wallpaper paste everywhere.
oh, I will never forget
I mean,
walking in on
it
my
was a
sister
blooper reel.
wallpapering a tiny. She has this tiny bathroom off of her kitchen, and I stopped over to her house. This has been years ago, and it was like it was scary. Okay, she had no
Sit
shoes
up
on.
beside the door and
I was
pray
like-
for her. You're like,
And I was like, oh
Lord,
gosh, this is amazing.
please
She's
help
like,
her.
"Ah!" And she had wallpaper stuck on the bottom of her foot. And also, let's just say, I know she's a Virgo and she is a perfectionist, so everything had to be. I'm like, it looks good. No, it's not a I gotta redo it. I'm like,
starting over. You're like, all right.
I was
I'll
like,
talk
I
to you
will never
tomorrow.
wallpaper in my life. Like,
It's
no
traumatizing.
way. It's
It is.
traumatizing.
It's terrible. It's
no,
terrible.
that was a memory.
That's why you
Let's
go
just
into
say, I've
these
never
old
forgotten
houses and there's like 17 layers of wallpaper on the wall,
Because
and you
who
got to
wants
scrape
to-
it all off
Yeah.
because then people back, they just knew. They're like,
They
I'm
knew.
I'm
not
gonna lose my religion on this.
and a couple nails trying to get that off. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay, do we have all of the people, the Find It friends who have? Okay, so this has been fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
I know, and really, like, I hope that we have helped you have a few laughs and maybe consider a goal or a wish or whatever you want to call it that
like,
doesn't make
anybody
you go
doing
nuts.
vision boards. Like
I
mean,
did
all
do
these
my
things-
very first vision board I ever made in my entire
Is
life
that where
was
this-
last
is this where
year.
this came from.
It was probably on there.
Yeah.
Amanda McGarvey, who is an Ayurveda specialist, massage therapist, and yoga instructor, who has now moved to Italy, and that's on my bucket list to go there.
To go there or move there.
She moved there.
I mean,
yeah, right. Okay. See you later, people. I'm out. Different on a time zone. So she moved, and but prior to her moving to Italy, she called me and she's like, "Do you want to make a vision board with me?" And she's made several. That's
great.
And I'm like, okay. So I went over to her place and we sat down, and she had everything just, candles all aglow. And it was a moment. It was really, and I love her. She's a special person. And she had all the magazines and different things. And I sat with her and made my vision board. And I was impressed by how it made me feel after I got it done. And I do see it. I have it in my bedroom. So I see it every day when I wake up. And it's a reminder of all the things I haven't done, but it's still
Also a reminder of the things you have
But I
done.
will tell, and it is.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, she sent me a message not too long ago, and she said, "Hey Debbie, I just want to remind you that vision boards serve a purpose for a time, and if you're looking at that and that's still not your vision for yourself,
Change it.
go ahead and burn that baby. We'll make a new one. And
take what you want to carry over into the
uh-huh.
next, and then the rest. Like, I don't really feel like this fits anymore.
Yeah, if it doesn't fit, we're going through
I
this
feel
life. When you have a vision for yourself and this doesn't pan out, and maybe you go on a different path, it's okay. Just like with your resolution, if that's what you want to call it. If you realize, okay, I want a burger, but everything in moderation. So it's okay to shift and groove in a different way, right?
Yeah,
it's okay.
absolutely.
Just love yourself, and
that's great.
Really for you, not for Jen, not for Debbie. What do you want? And then write it down. Stay true to you. If you say it out loud to yourself, trust yourself, stay on that path.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of talking to yourself. I'm a big fan
of
talking to yourself.
People interrupt me all the time when I'm talking to myself.
When you're talking to yourself,
David will be, David's like, what? And I'm like,
carry on. I'm talking to me.
I'm talking to myself. Okay, this is who I listen.
That little meme, that little girl. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Remember that?
You worry about you. He's like, how do I know when you're having a conversation with you or you're asking me a question? I'm like,
poor Dave.
I know. God love him. I can be challenging. So can't we all? All right. Well, okay. Let's cheers to 2025.
Yep.
Tink tink. Let's do. Ooh, that sounded good.
That was nice.
That's good. That's good mojo right there. And look at you right in the eyes. For good luck. All right. Well, with that, y'all, have an absolutely incredible new year. And I'm going to get
pork
back.
And sauerkraut today.
I am having that with my parents right after this little meeting here.
Mine's in the crock pot.
Oh, that's awesome. And you know that sauerkraut, you know what that's good for.
Oh, girl. It's good
Tomorrow
for everything.
will not be a problem. With the porcelain.
All things stuck will be loosened up.
It'll all be loosened up. It's a good way to start your new year. Let's just be real. All right, you guys. I'm going to get back up on this Find It train really, really well every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. See you next week. Have a good one.
See ya.